And the leaders of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo are meeting with Donald Trump in Washington to sign a peace deal aimed at ending fighting in the DRC. The ceremony will cap months of diplomatic efforts, including a meeting with the US president in June, at which an agreement was signed. Meetings, however, have failed to end the violence in Congo, where millions of people have been killed and displaced in the past 30 years. Fighting escalated in January this year after the M23 rebel group, reportedly backed by Rwanda, seized several cities in eastern Congo. Rwanda alleges a militia based in Congo and linked to the 1994 genocide still poses a threat to its security. The area is rich in minerals vital to new technologies. Let's examine this with Maurice Carney, who's a co-founder and executive director of the Friends of the Congo. That's a non-profit advocacy organisation based in Washington, D.C. that works with Congolese communities to promote peace. Welcome to DW. Do you expect the signing of this latest piece of paper in Washington will stop the killing, which is still going on?
We don't expect it to. If you look at the signing that took place in June 27th, immediately after the signing, we saw the UN group of experts, the Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, documented continued disappearance of people in the east of the Congo, raping of women, destabilizing of local communities and displacement. And to this very day, since the signing in June 27th, humanitarian corridor has not been opened up in order to get humanitarian aid into the Eastern Congo. The United Nations World Food Program reported that Congolese are dying of hunger. So if the past 5 months is an indication, we do not expect anything to fundamentally change in the near future.
And so if, as you say, you expect this latest peace deal to be as worthless as those that preceded it, why do you think it's happening?
Well, the interests of the local elites and the global elites are being met. Rwanda gets its interests met, the illicit trade in minerals from the east of Congo. They get to now make that trade illicit. The Kinshasa government with President Tshisekedi, he's going into Washington today with 3 aims. One is to sign the peace deal. 2 is to engage in the regional economic integration framework, which is a part of it. And then probably the most interesting part for the Tshisekedi government is a strategic partnership between the DRC and the United States around minerals, energy, and infrastructure that bodes to bring in a great deal of investment should everything go forward. And of course, with the Trump administration, you have the Washington elite, you have the likes of Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, Michael Bloomberg, who are lined up to get access to lithium mines in the east of the Congo. Donald Trump's former campaign finance co-chair, Gentry Beach, he's looking at a coltan mine that's currently held by the M23. So the economic interests of local elites in Kigali and in Kinshasa and the global elites in Washington and the US, they converge. And that's those are the interests that are being met, not that of the Congolese people at all.
And you believe that the 3 parties, Rwanda, Congo, the United States, they know this is worthless, but the commercial interests top everything, top the lives being lost?
I don't know if they fully think it's worthless, but they certainly, the commercial interests are the priority, right? Especially for the United States, access to critical minerals to support its military, automotive, technology, artificial intelligence industries, that's critical. And then also the geostrategic battle with China, combating China in the Congo is also very, very important. We see that the United States, even under the Biden administration, launched what they call the Partnership for Global Infrastructure and Investment with the G7, the European Union, to set up the Lobito corridor as a means for combating China's Belt and Road Initiative, not just in the Congo, but in the global south. So there's a geostrategic imperative that's at play as well.
So this all sounds horrible. And there's a saying, be careful what you wish for. Is there a risk in this for the DRC that of actually doing business with the United States? This does not sound like it would be an agreement between equal partners.
Oh, it's certainly not an agreement between equal partners. If you listen to what's coming out of Kinshasa and the president's office and the political elite, they see this as a salvation. And in some respects, one can argue that it is for the political elite, right? In the sense that by virtue of the Trump administration intervening when it did, it disrupted the movement of the Rwanda-backed M23 towards Kinshasa. So Tshisekedi government is able to secure its power, knowing that Trump is engaged and that there's peace talks. So I don't think they see it necessarily as a risk. It's been a boon for them, for the political elite. However, for the 70 million Congolese that live on less than $2.15 a day, according to the World Bank, it's certainly not something that they ought to be looking forward to, especially considering that questions of their inclusion, that is right. Local communities, civil society has been included, the question of accountability and justice, as Nobel Peace Prize laureate Dr. Denis Mukwege articulated in a post that he made, those elements are not there, and those are fundamental elements that are critical for any kind of lasting peace. Justice, accountability, inclusion of local voices. Those are all missing from these signings and these discussions.
Thank you for guiding us through that so clearly. Maurice Carney from Friends of the Congo.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.